Chapter 71. It Takes Two to Tango. The party began with Chul rendering Hyun-ki and Reel's favorite Korean song. I am dedicating this Korean song to these two lovers as one of their favorite love songs. Dream by Paul Kim, a Korean singer. Hwan began, "You are my dream, you are my love. It's you who showed me love. Follow your time, follow my heart. I'm still staying on that dazzling day, I love you." As Chul was singing, Hyun brought her to the center and held her waist and hand, while Reel placed her hand on Hyun's chest. He held her close, their eyes met, and Hyun touched Reel's face with his, then she flung her hands around his nape, and they danced as if they were all alone that night. The two lovers danced sweetly, while Chul's voice captivated the guests. After the song ended, Chul announced another song, Destiny by Jim Brickman. Reel was about to leave the center when Hyun grasped her hand, pulled her close, then led her to dance again. The lyrics made Hyun-ki high-flown that he gazed at Reel, romantically. Reel felt like she was on cloud nine, captivated by the song, letting her feet follow Hyun's dance steps. "Baby, you're my destiny. You and I were meant to be, with all my heart and soul." As Chul was about to end the song, "You were always meant to be my destiny. You're my destiny." Hyun-ki knelt before Reel. To everyone's surprise, a drone hovered above them, slowly dropping a mini parachute with a tiny box hanging. Hyun pulled it, opened the box, and brought it before Reel. Reel brought her hands to her face, amazed. Then Hyun-ki said, "Gabrielle Marikalma, will you marry me?" Dumbfounded, Reel was at a loss for words. Everyone was quiet and surprised at the same time. Then, Hyun repeatedly said, "Will you marry me?" Reel was then in tears and joyfully shouted, "Yes, Hyun, I'll marry you." Hyun-ki put the engagement ring on her finger. At the same time, all the guests shouted, "Ooh, wow. Congratulations," simultaneously applauding Hyun-ki and Reel. Hyun stood quickly and kissed Reel on her lips. First, a small kiss, and seeing Reel was smiling. Still in tears, he kissed her again, this time so passionately that the guests were thrilled and shouting joyfully. Then, Chul went to the middle and announced, "Our dear guests, there's something more. Please take your seats, and I will sing for the couple." As Mr. Han Hyun-ki will give his ultimate gift to his beloved, the guests wondered what the gift was. When Chul began singing his last song, "Queen of My Heart," by Westlife. "So here we stand, in our secret place, with the sound of the crowd, so far away, and all our tears will be lost in the rain, when I've found my way back to your arms again." Hyun faced Reel. A real estate agent came forward. With him is a white document envelope, with a pink ribbon tied around it. He handed the envelope to Reel, with a surprised look, took it and untied the ribbon. Holding the envelope, she slowly opened it, wondering what was inside, and then took out a parchment paper. Before her widened eyes, speechless, and in disbelief, at the document before her face. "That is my ultimate gift to you, my bride, Gabrielle Marikalma. Happy birthday." Reel accepted the envelope from Hyun, sobbing with joy. She slowly read tremblingly, "Ownership of a mansion in my name." Reel, unbelieving of what she had read, wept. She hugged and kissed Hyun, while almost all of the guests, including her mom and sisters, were also in tears, fascinated by the gift given to her by Hyun-ki. Everyone's faces looked in awe and wonder. The ladies were thrilled with envy, almost teary-eyed, while Reel was shocked that she embraced Hyun tightly and could not find the right words to say. Reel felt like she was floating after the proposal, and then another surprise gift that Hyun gave to her. The night was overwhelming for everyone. Chul took the guests' attention and announced, "Let us party, everyone." During the party, Sarah dressed in a server's uniform, so she won't be recognized. She wore a curly brunette wig, drew her eyebrows brown and thick, and put dots on her face like freckles. At that moment, Sarah saw everything that never expected to see. Hyun-ki, kneeling before Reel, brought her the tiny box, then wore the ring to Reel's finger. Sarah was crying her heart out, hiding in the dark corner of the ballroom. And when she heard about the gift, she was furious, yelling and cursing. "How could you, Hyun? How could you? I hate both of you. I'll see to it that Reel won't be happy with you. I will have my day with you. I promise that," Sarah yelled, crying, her face looking up at the grand ballroom ceiling. Meanwhile, Mrs. Kalma faced Hyun and Reel, then asked, "When do you plan to marry?" Reel turned to Hyun and said, "We need to plan this carefully." Reel felt pleased by her idea. "Why prolong it? Make it sooner, because I might not be able to attend your wedding later," Rielzi remarked in a regrettable tone. In unison, All of them asked, "Why?" "I might fly to Canada once my application is approved," Zia spoke softly. "Why are you not telling us about your plan?" asked Mrs. Kalma. "Me telling you? Might jinx my plan. That's why," Zia explained. To smoothen the conversation, Hyun said, "Then let us make it soonest. Would you agree, babe?" Riel pinched Hyun's cheeks and said, "You really can't wait, huh?" Then everyone laughed. After a little while, the guests were slowly leaving. Nancy and Wilson came to Riel and Hyunaki to congratulate them and remind them of their baby's baptism the following week. Riel and Hyun assured them that they were coming. "So, all of us were leaving early tomorrow?" asked Donna. "Yes, you should, but we are catching our flight tonight," said Nancy. That night, Hyun brought Riel around the surroundings of her new home. They walked hand in hand looking around, while Hyunaki showed her everything her eyes caught on. Then Riel stopped, faced Hyun curiously, and asked, "Why have you thought of giving this huge property to me as a gift?" Hyun stared at her lovingly, touched her face, and replied, "I could not stand seeing you living in that cramped place, babe. I felt uneasy and upset. And one more thing, this will be our home, where we will start our family." Hyunki thought it was getting late, then drove back to the hotel. "I'll be going now. Stay with your family. They will be leaving tomorrow, and it will take some time before you see each other again," Hyun said with concern. "I love and miss you so badly," Hyun Riel said softly. "I love and miss you, too, babe. We'll have all the time we need tomorrow, as soon as we are back here. Good night and sweet dreams." Then Hyun walked Riel back to the hotel and left. At that moment, Sarah was hiding in the dark, still waiting and watching. She could not accept what she heard from the guests as they left the hotel grand ballroom. Imagine, Han Hyunaki, the most sought-after bachelor, would end up to his former executive assistant, to be married at last. Then another lady said enviously, "I wish I could meet someone like him, who would gift me a property as huge as Reelers." And they weren't even married yet. Hearing these comments made Sarah more furious. Out of anger, she hit the arches part of the party's decoration. A little later, Sarah sat on the dark pavement, her head lowered as she crouched, her hands clinging around her legs and sniffling. Sarah began to weep profusely, gasping for air because of her heavy heart and desperation. The following day, Riel could not believe everything that had transpired during the night. Hyunaki's proposal, as well as his gift, were not yet sinking into her being. Mrs. Kalma, already awake, saw Riel staring blankly at the wall. Mrs. Kalma came to her, waving her hand before Riel's face. "Riel, are you awake or still dreaming?" teased Mrs. Kalma. Riel gazed at her mom with wide eyes and exclaimed, "Mom, Hyunaki gifted me a house, and it was huge and so beautiful, as if I were living in a palace. I couldn't believe to receive such a gift, and we weren't even married yet." Riel quickly frowned and added, "Should I accept his gift, Mom?" Mrs. Kalma was startled by Riel's question and got lost in words. Donna and Zia were also speechless. The gift was indeed a big responsibility to carry. "We saw the house before Hyunki brought us to the hotel. I had goosebumps when he told us that the mansion was his gift to you, and it was like a king giving his dowry to his bride-to-be," Zia commented. "So, that means I am bound now to marry him?" The hardest part was that he put my name on that title. Riel was heavily bothered. "Why are you bothered when you accepted his proposal? You said yes to his proposal, so take it. You are both getting married anyway. So, why to make it a burden?" asked Donna. "Are you having second thoughts about marrying Hyunki?" Riel asked Mrs. Kalma, feeling worried. "It's not that I am having second thoughts, and I am only worried about Hyunaki's parents' quick decision to marry us off, knowing his dad. However, Hyun promised me he wouldn't let his dad stand in our way in our married life," Riel said in a bothered tone. "My dear daughter, marriage is taking a risk. It would be up to you and Hyunaki how you would handle every situation in your married life. What is essential in your relationship is communication and honesty," Mrs. Kalma advised. "Was that how you and Dad lived, Mom? We never saw you quarrel or have silent treatments when Dad was still alive," Donna commented. "Despite your dad being a handsome doctor, nurses and female physicians alike fall over him. At the end of the day, it was always me he loved and looked after," their mom said dreamily. Riel slumped in bed, then rolled her body face down and sighed. "I wish Hyun would never have a change of heart once we were married," Mrs. Kalma remarked as her final word. "It takes two to tango." "My dear," Riel was worried about the gift that Hyunaki gave her, and marriage seemed to take a toll on her.